Welcome to Missouri Mayhem, Mystery and Murder. I'm Megan.
And I'm Mindy. Thank you for being with us today. We appreciate you joining us for a brand new case this week. Megan, can you give us any clues about this case topic today?
While, of course. And yes, we appreciate you being back with us on this fine Monday in Missouri.
Mm-hmm.
So let me pose a question. We're just going to kind of jump into it because we're pretty sure this is going to be a two-part episode. So let's just jump into it and let me pose a question. So we come from what we would consider a pretty stereotypical kind of small, tight-knit community where, school's the center of town and lots of churches, stoplights, that kind of thing. And you know everyone and you trust everybody.
Yes.
But sometimes these cute towns are not always what they seem. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Absolutely.
So sometimes small towns from the outside, we know, look great and safe. And I was actually watching a crime documentary the other day and a man said, well, don't we all think where we live is safe?
Well, you wouldn't live there.
Yeah, most people do. And so, this is a very interesting case that's going to take place in a very small town that you'll see is not that unfamiliar not that unfamiliar to a lot of listeners. We'll find out this town where this happens. So are we ready to get into this?
I'm ready. I'm interested.
Okay. Our case today takes us back to December of 2004. Okay, so 2004. So let's see, 21 years ago. So here are a few things that happened in 2004, just to jog your memory.
Okay.
One, George W. Bush was reelected. He beat John Kerry for the presidency that year. That was also the year Martha Stewart went to prison for obstruction of justice and insider trading.
I remember that.
Yeah, and boy, she's made a great comeback.
I was getting ready to say that she's come back and nobody even really talks about her being in prison anymore.
She must have a really good agent.
She must.
Knew how to work that. And also, you'll remember this. I remember where I was and watching this, but the Super Bowl wardrobe malfunction.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With Janet Jackson and Justin.
That was so bad.
Oh my gosh. I remember watching that. Terry was in the kitchen. Caden was a baby. Spencer was 4. And I'm like, what did I just see?
Well, for a minute, I thought, did they plan that?
Same.
I mean, surely not, but it was talked about for a little bit and then it was like nothing ever happened. So.
Yeah. So very, definitely remember that. The Boston Red Sox won the World Series that year and it was a big deal because they have this curse of the Bambino on them. And that was broken first time since 1918. Also in 2004, from what I saw, that's the year Facebook officially launched.
How long have you been on Facebook?
I have been on Facebook since 2010.
Oh,
what about you?
2008, off and on relationship.
Since then, love-hate relationship.
It's off and on relationship with Facebook.
Yeah. So, and then we won't talk about the Chiefs and the Royals because they had rough seasons in 2004, but the KC Wizards, for those soccer fans out there, they did win the U.S. Open Cup against the Chicago Fire that year, and that was their first U.S. Open victory. So anyway, some things to kind of take you time warp back to 2004. So before, I think the first iPhone and all that jazz. The first iPhone wasn't until 2007. I don't think.
I wonder how, when I am 75, what number iPhone will be on.
Right.
iPhone 5000.
iPhone 5?
Well, I don't think I'm going to live that
One.
long.
No. I don't know if we want to live that long. Okay, so here we go. So real quick, I want to do a big shout out to a few people before we get into the heart of this story. I want to thank you to Shay and Andrea for the story recommendation. They right away were like, remember this story? So appreciate that. Also a big shout out to Lynn and Dawn for being our first monthly subscribers on Missouri Mayhem Patreon.
Yes, thank you guys so much.
Yes. And that's, of course, where for $3 a month, you get all the inside case info, photos, articles, additional links and news information, also member shout outs. And for those who have joined, they get early access to episodes on Sundays. So yeah, just some fun stuff on there. So head over to Patreon and check it out if you want to, but let's get into this case.
Let's do it.
All right. So here we go. Here is a little bit about the scene of what I would call a horrendous crime. And, listener warning, this is, there are some graphic scenes involving children and things of that nature. So as always, remember our podcast is explicit. So just keeping that in mind, we do try to be, of course, respectful to this. But the scene of this horrendous crime took place on December 16th, 2004 in a town you probably have already heard of called, Mindy's giving me this look. She's like, wait a second. Say it. Skidmore, Missouri.
Oh my goodness. How big is this town?
So this town is very small, like under 1,000 people. Very small.
They have a lot going on for being so small.
Yes, you are exactly right. So a lot of you are probably like, oh my gosh, yes, I know about Skidmore, Missouri. But if you don't,
I would never go there. I'm going to say that.
Well, and we've talked to people that have gone there, or I've remember at that Get a Clue book event, they're like, when you go into town, you get a feeling like you're not
welcome.
Like, don't come here and try to investigate our stuff.
Yeah, I don't think Skidmore's the place to go.
Yeah, and what's sad is I'm sure there's amazing people
that live in
this town, but so if you're not familiar, Skidmore is a very, very small town, and really it's not far from Maryville or St. Joe. Both of those are within proximity, but Skidmore's already been haunted by a history of violence. So for those of you who remember, in July of 1981, we have the unsolved murder of Ken McElroy, who was the town bully. And my guess is we will cover that case at some point.
And wasn't he just shot like in broad daylight right there on Main Street?
Yep. Remember that movie came out, I think, called In Broad Daylight? And and like all these witnesses, nobody. Yeah. So we have this just killing on the street. Supposedly lots of witnesses, nobody comes forward. That's the first thing. Yeah. Then in 2000, Wendy Gillenwater was killed by her boyfriend. And again, kind of like the Ken McElroy situation, lots of hush-hush, people hiding, hiding information, not reporting things. And again, another awful case. And then in April of 2001, Branson Perry vanished under very suspicious circumstances. Literally, I think he was taking something out to a shed on his property and he disappeared. And a lot of people believe it was drug related, but they don't know. So again, a very small town, but 4 huge things happening within the last, 40 years. Yeah. I mean, that's a big event. And then now we have December of 2004, another event. So,
oh boy.
Yeah. I found a quote from a person. It didn't say their name, but one person described Skidmore as having a pervasive culture of silence.
Meaning everybody just is hush-hush about everything.
Yes. Meaning like we have a code here and we don't talk about something.
The unwritten rule of the town.
Yes. Which if you're from a small town, you kind of know there are sometimes those rules. Okay, so here we are on this cold December afternoon in Skidmore, Missouri in 2004. Again, a little over 23 years since the McElroy murder. And we have 23-year-old Bobbie Jo Stinnett. And she's home with her rat terrier dogs, which we'll learn a little bit more about in a little while. And she was so excited because her and her husband are expecting the arrival of their first child.
Okay.
So she's very, very pregnant. And she's just spoken with her mom, Becky Harper, on the phone and told her, yep, I'll pick you up for work. So you can expect me to pick you up. But as you might expect, the story...
Well, I'm assuming Bobbie Jo is the victim here.
Right. So Bobbie Jo never made it. And when her mother ends up walking, we'll find out, when she doesn't show up to pick her up, her mom decides to walk to Bobbie Jo's house, which isn't that far. And when she arrives at the house, she finds an awful, awful scene. She finds her daughter lying in a pool of blood, and her stomach has been brutally slashed open.
Oh my gosh.
And the baby, gone.
How's the baby gone?
We'll find out. And at first, they weren't even sure if the baby was gone, and we'll talk more about that.
Oh my gosh, did she steal the baby out of her stomach? Okay, I'll wait.
Okay. So I know.
Oh my gosh.
You're like, what? And what's sad too is, her mom found her this way.
Yeah, that's horrible.
So what follows and what we're going to learn about in the next couple hours is a frantic nationwide manhunt for a newborn who's been ripped from its mother's womb. A case so shocking that, of course, before it's all over, like all of these cases, the whole country is tuning in. And this is going to end with the execution of the first woman put to death by federal government, the federal government in nearly 7 decades.
My goodness.
So
this case that we're talking
perpetrator,
about.
the murderer here, yes, she will be the first woman in almost 70 years to die by execution by the federal government.
She's still alive, or has she been executed yet? Do you know?
We'll find that out too.
Oh, okay.
I know. So many good things. I know. Okay, so again, here we go. Okay, Bobbie Jo Stinnett was born on December 4th, 1981. She grew up in Northwest Missouri and graduated from Nottoway Holt High School in 2000. And I know quite a few people from have heard of
Nottoway?
Not heard of people from Nottoway, but I know some people from Nottoway, just in the
Okay.
teaching realm. And
Yeah.
it is quite a ways up north there, again, by Maryville, St. Joe. But she graduated in 2000, and her friends used words like sweet and bubbly. And if you look at her picture, we have some pictures hanging in here that we're looking at.
Yes.
Yeah, she was sweet and bubbly, and they said very devoted to her family. She had married her high school sweetheart, Zeb. And together they were building this life around their family. And they both had a really big shared love of animals. And so the couple ran a rat terrier breeding business out of their home in Skidmore. And that's, oh, shoot, I think I showed it to you earlier, but rat terriers.
Yes.
Yes.
I know what they look like.
But they ran this business out of their home, and it was called Happy Haven Farms. And Bobbie Jo was really involved in a lot of online chat rooms for breeders. This, again, is 2004, and that's when a lot of those chat rooms were becoming popular.
Starting.
Yes. And, you could go if I loved.
Join the chat room.
Yeah, they have a chat room for everything. So
they have joined a chat room. I don't know.
Yeah. And here she's like, I found other people who love rat terriers. And this one that she loved, this chat room, was called the Ratter Chatter.
Oh, my.
And dog enthusiasts shared stories, tips.
It's really a good name.
Yeah. And unfortunately, this is also going to be a place where some dangerous connections.
At the Ratter Chatter?
In the chat room.
Okay.
And so, early on.
So online.
Online and chat rooms from a very, I think, early onset have been used sometimes for nefarious purposes.
Wow.
Yeah. Nefarious.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
there's that many creepy people out there.
Yes, for sure. So by December 2004, Bobbie Jo was 8 months pregnant with her first child, and they'd already decided they were going to name the baby girl Victoria Jo, which I think is a pretty name.
That is pretty. And
their life was really exciting. They were waiting for Victoria Jo, and they were looking forward to Christmas and the New Year. And really, in their mind, they're like, life's great. I mean, really, right now they do have a really good life. Yes. And being married to your high school sweetheart, having a baby, sounds great. Yeah. Sounds like she's close to her mom. Yeah. Yeah. And so she had no reason to believe that there was any kind of danger lurking. Sure. In a chat room. Yeah. Why would you? Yes. Yeah. So that's a little bit about Bobbie Jo. So excited for life, pregnant. All these great things going on. Now, I do think it's important we talk a little bit about our murderer here to kind of, again, see where she's coming from. I don't like to highlight that, but we talked kind of with Bonnie and Carl, Bonnie Hetty. Yeah. It's interesting to see how scary and interesting how far someone could go from, oh my gosh, from being a normal person to murder to being able to do something like this. Yeah. So let's learn a little bit about her. Name's Lisa Montgomery. She's 36, and she was born in 1968 in Kansas. And again, at this time, she's 36, and her life, sadly, was not maybe as content as Bobbie Jo's was, pretty much from the start. Okay. Pretty much abuse shaped her life from the beginning. Her mom struggled with alcoholism and sadly continued that habit while she was pregnant with Lisa and left her with permanent brain damage from prenatal alcohol exposure. So the murderer, correct, Lisa Montgomery, correct, was born with fetal alcohol syndrome. Okay. Yes. And according to Lisa's mom, which, I found mixed reviews of Lisa Montgomery's mom, but I don't feel like she's super credible either because, well, for a lot of reasons, but Lisa's mom really wanted to bring up in several articles the fact that she was a habitual liar from a very young age. Lisa was, according to the mom.
According to her mother.
Yes. And, but you'll see, I'm not
But
sure.
maybe her mother was too, and that's why she said that.
Exactly. I'm not sure how reliable of narrators either one, Lisa or the mom, are.
Okay.
So, okay, listeners, this is where we're going to start hearing some really disturbing kind of information.
We're getting dark.
We're getting dark here. And kind of thought of this phrase, like when we say, like, we're crossing into mayhem, we're getting into some rough stuff.
Yes.
So if you hear us say that, and again, as always, our podcast is explicit, but when you hear us say we're getting ready to cross into some mayhem, yeah. So for example, right now, we're getting ready
to cross into some mayhem
with this information about Lisa's childhood.
Be ready.
Okay? So if you want to skip ahead a bit, we completely understand that.
And our podcast is labeled explicit, so
that is right. So
always remember that.
Yes, content and language marked that way. So we're crossing into mayhem, everyone. Major mayhem. So here we go. From the age of 11, Lisa reported being raped against her will, involving her stepfather, Jack, and several other men. So from what it sounds like...
At the same time?
Well, it sounds like her stepdad, Jack, regularly brought other men to the house.
Wow.
Yes. And they would not only rape her, but they also would beat her, slap her. She said if she was doing it wrong, she's 11. I mean, this is heinous. And I mean, there's some other things, honestly, even worse that I'm not going to mention, but they did some other bad things to her. And on several instances, according to Lisa, her mother forced her to have sex with her stepfather and his friends. And again, her mother would beat her as well, even going as far, she claims, as killing their family dog in front of her.
Okay, her mother is definitely not a credible source.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh,
so
her family dog?
Yes, in front of her as a punishment. And from what I read,
that just did it for me.
She tried to report this several times to the police, and they wouldn't believe her. Every time they said she was making
Talk about being a mandated reporter.
Yes.
Thanks, police.
Yes.
The safety you thought you had of all, they really could have changed her fate.
And Bobbie Jo's fate, potentially.
Well, yes. Bobbie Jo's baby.
And the whole situation. And so, yeah, it's sad, as we talk about in some of these cases, like potentially so many points where this could have been prevented, potentially.
And I find that with a lot of cases.
I know. And it's like, man, if this one
If only this thing would have happened, then maybe it would have been different.
I know. And can you imagine then being these individuals, these victims' family members, and having to spend your whole life wondering that?
No.
Like, I bet her mom's like, man, if I would have come home, if I would have came here
if I
30 minutes earlier.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, more mayhem coming. Her stepfather, Lisa's stepfather, also built a room off of his trailer, according to Lisa, accessible only outside. So basically locking someone inside. And Lisa says that she was forced to live in this room and that she was being isolated from her other sisters regularly. And that Jack told Lisa that he was teaching her how to be a good wife. Yeah. So, I mean, if all this stuff really happened, I mean, again, like we have, again, a young child being victimized and no one is helping her, including her mother, because
she literally has no one.
No one. Her mom, supposedly also around the age 11, started having servicemen come to the trailer to build a new living room or add on to the trailer again. And according to Lisa, mom paid for the living room by pimping Lisa out to the servicemen.
So mom had a freaking brothel in their living room.
Yes.
And Lisa was the
maid.
Oh my.
Yeah. And calling it even a family secret to Lisa's stepbrothers. Yeah.
Now, what about her other sisters?
You're going to learn some more about her actually here in just a second.
Okay.
Yeah, she had, I believe she had 2 other sisters that were younger than her. I know one for sure. And then she had 2 stepbrothers, which we're going to hear more about too. As if her life wasn't already awful and torturous enough, it was her older half-sister. So Lisa's older half-sister, I believe, just by a year or two. Her name was Diane. She was removed from their home and placed in foster care. And Lisa was really close to Diane. And of course,
Why didn't they take her too?
Okay. So Lisa thought she was going to get to go. Can you imagine this poor little girl?
No, that is exactly what she was
thought,
needing
yes.
and hoping.
And she thought, well, Diane's being rescued, so I'm
next,
I'm
surely.
next.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not what happened. And why couldn't she go with her sister and be placed in foster care? Well, there are several factors that have led to this disparity and her being ignored and no one coming to her aid. So let's talk about a couple of those. So first off, this foster care for Diane, this is a whole loophole in what we would call parental rights. So Diane, her older sister, half-sister, was taken away when she was 8 after her mother divorced her father and no longer had parental rights over her. So basically, the mom had lost parental rights. And since Lisa was the biological child of her mom, the custody order didn't go to her. See what I'm saying?
Gosh.
Like, but it should.
Well, they should have just taken one look at that household and did a complete.
Exactly.
What do you call it when a social worker comes in and examines it and makes sure it's child's safe?
Like a welfare check.
Yes, a welfare check.
Yes. I mean,
if there's one in the house, it's very possible that there's another one that it's happening to. Like if you're removing that person, then you need to check out the siblings too. Wow.
Oh, so Lisa's 4 and Diane's 8 when this happens. So this could have been stopped soon. And I think Diane leaving too she was kind of her one protector, and she didn't have anybody left to protect her. And then that's when all this stuff starts happening. So yeah, total failure on courts, on the part of the other parents. Like they knew things were going on. They should have been police. So
neighbors.
Yes. Systematic failure to follow up. So not only was Diane removed, but then typically they are supposed to do some kind of follow-up investigation into the home she was removed from. And Diane, bless her heart, I saw an interview with her. She later testified that she was haunted by the memory of leaving her little sister, knowing the abuse that her little sister was going to endure without her there. And that, Diane had been abused as well. So she felt this terrible moment of, oh my God, I'm going to be safe. But
Diane should have said where her foster family, hey, this is what's happening to my little sister. You guys need to go get her too.
She's 8.
Well, you and I are 4 years apart.
I know.
I would have done that.
I know. But she was, who knows? She could have been traumatized and shocked.
I'm not trying to judge.
No, I know. It just makes you, it's
her
like
little sister though.
I know. Yes. And you really can come from that point of view as a big sister.
I would definitely have told them to go get you.
Yes. So just terrible. Inadequate responses from authorities. Again, multiple opportunities were missed to rescue Lisa throughout her childhood, and there were many signs of abuse. Listen to all of these missed opportunities, and to me, this is so sad and upsetting. So the police. As a teenager, she told her cousin, who was a deputy sheriff, that she was being raped by her stepfather and his friends. He knew she was telling the truth, and he didn't intervene, and he regrets
blood on
that.
your hand.
Yes, and he says he regrets that.
Mother trucker.
You should, mother trucker, regret that. Schools. When Montgomery's academic performance, when Lisa's grades drastically deteriorated.
School counselors.
Yes, in middle school, an administrator noted that they thought her grades were dropping due to deep emotional trauma. But did that person do anything? Nothing. So they knew something was going on.
This is the freaking principal?
That's the school. Yes, and an administrator noted it. And then the courts. During her mom's divorce proceedings, Lisa was forced to testify about the rapes that she'd endured. A social worker thought her claims were believable and sent this to the district attorney's office. They didn't believe her. Again, probably because mom is saying she's a habitual liar all the time. And the courts didn't believe her either.
Wow. I mean, all of this compiled up. Imagine of all that stuff happened to you and literally nobody came to your rescue. It would fundamentally change you as a person. And you would really think that there's nobody in this world that's any good.
Yes, that's any
Wouldn't you?
good. That
I mean, this is how murders are made.
it really is. Because this is how I think they too get this lack of empathy. It's like no one
No one
cares about me. Why am I going to care about anybody else?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And here what makes it, this is what I would consider bittersweet. Ultimately, Diane, her older half-sister, was placed in a very nurturing foster home.
Okay.
And she was able to start healing at this young age of 8. Meanwhile, Lisa's still in this abusive household, and the abuse, of course, only intensifies when Diane leaves. And her later struggles with severe mental illness, her defense team, when they go to trial, obviously says her unaddressed childhood abuse
Wow.
is linked to
Mhm.
this. Her mental illness, the
Oh,
trauma, this is all linked. So,
Yes.
and it is, again, though, doesn't excuse. Yeah. So let's let that sink in a minute, because that's not even the tip of the iceberg.
I haven't even heard about Lisa Montgomery's dad. Did she have a father?
We don't hear anything about her biological dad, really. And again, so no dad, real dad figure, and her own only dad figure is doing these horrible things.
Okay.
So very early in life, they think even as early as 10, Lisa tried to use alcohol as an escape. So can you imagine being a 10-year-old and things are so awful and you know enough about life to become an alcoholic
That
at
you
the age
know
of
that
10?
might make you feel a little bit better.
Yeah. And when she was 14, her mom discovered that she was abusing alcohol when she was 14.
And what'd she do?
What do you think she did?
Nothing.
Well, actually, when she discovered that she was using alcohol, she threatened her at gunpoint.
Oh my gosh.
Threatened her.
I wish she'd done nothing now. Oh my God.
So she's crying for help, and her mom's reaction is to hold a gun to her and basically threaten her.
And this is all in Skidmore?
This isn't in Skidmore. She's from Kansas.
Oh, okay.
But Bobbie Jo's from Skidmore. So we'll get back to that more. But
okay, sorry, I got confused there for a
I
second.
know.
Okay.
But yeah, the bad stuff, that bad stuff is in Skidmore. This is in, I believe it's called Melbourne, Kansas.
Okay.
Or is where she's living at this time. So, things got so bad for her. Obviously, were terrible. They were so bad that the only way out, she thought, was to marry her stepbrother. You should see the look, Mindy. Just she looked at me like, what? Yeah. So she's like, I got to get the heck out of here. What? So she's like, you know what? In August of 1986, she married her stepbrother. And guess what his first name was?
What? I have no idea.
Carl. Another Carl.
Oh my gosh.
Bonnie and Carl from Bobbie.
Yes.
So his name's Carl.
Of course.
Carl Bowman. And when they got married in August of 1986, she had just turned 18. She
knew I'm 18 now. It's time to get out.
Yes. So here's where the sad story of Lisa just continues. She thinks, okay, I'll marry my stepbrother. At least I'll be out from under my mom and my stepdad. But the cycle that this takes really just shows familial and generational abuse. Like, you can tell this is something that this family has just continued to do. So
nobody has broken the cycle.
No. And poor Lisa, I do feel bad for her in this moment. She just, in her mind, wanted to be a mom. Mm-hmm. Like, if I can be a mom, I'll have something to take care of, something that will love me.
And I can protect it.
And
like I wasn't
safe.
Protected.
And yes, and nurture it. And so she had her first child with Carl in January of 1987. So like 5 months after they got married. She has 3 more babies between January of 87 and 1990. So she has boom, 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 boom. So by the time Lisa is 22 years old, she's got 4 kids under the age of 4.
Oh my gosh. Wow. That's crazy.
And all this past trauma that she's been dealing with, you know?
So she's completely traumatized
Right.
and mentally handicapped.
Yes, we know has fetal alcohol syndrome.
Fetal
And
alcohol syndrome, abused.
yes. Alcoholic herself, it sounded like,
Yes.
for a time. So, I mean, okay, so listen to this. So she supposedly falsely claims to be pregnant.
For a fifth time.
Right. But what happened was after she had those babies, boom, 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 she claims her mom and her brother forced her to get a tubal ligation. So she had these babies from 87 to 90. And
Meaning tie your tubes.
correct. So in 1990, she had her tubes tied.
Yeah.
She claims, and she was only 22 at the time, but she did have 4 kids. She claims she was forced to do it by her husband / stepbrother, same person, as well as her mom.
I think that's a great idea.
See, and when I know, and here's my thing is that's obviously a whole nother book of issues, like the whole people having children that maybe shouldn't or not capable and that whole thing. But yes, she claims, but I mean, if she, was forced or put pressure on, that is sad.
Yeah.
I mean, that she should have a say. Again, it's hard to tell. Obviously, she lives a productive life.
Yeah.
She has kids. She's able to raise kids. So she is what I would say has a mental disability from the alcohol fetal syndrome, but she is still able to live she's living a functional life as well as she can.
Yes.
For all that's happened.
And are all of these kids with their stepbrother?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. All 4 of these are with stepbrother. Okay. Completely traumatized. She's mentally handicapped, abused. Yeah. And now she starts telling lies about pregnancy to get attention. So yeah. So she's supposedly claiming many times after the tubal ligation, her tubes were tied, that she was pregnant. And they felt like, of course, it was for attention seeking.
Because she had her tubes tied.
Right. And I think she really liked being pregnant and the idea of being pregnant.
Well, also, no one's going to hurt you when you're pregnant.
Right.
People love pregnant people.
Or would tend to maybe treat them better.
Oh, yeah. In general.
Yes. So terrible life. No excuse, but her life kind of was like hell on earth.
It was.
Yeah. So again,
this is really all she knew.
It is.
All of these wrongs do not make one right, like murdering someone, but
no. And from what I can tell, to her biological children, up to the point she commits this act, she's a decent mom. I think she was a pretty good mom. Like, I didn't hear like she was abusive to her kids or anything. Now, I don't know that for a fact, but so in the years following the tubes being tied, she claimed she had 4 more pregnancies. So let's break this down. Okay. So in 1994, while separated from Carl, so 4 years after she supposedly had her tubes tied, she separated from Carl and she had an affair and claims to be pregnant. She tells Carl,
lie.
Well, so Lisa and Carl get back together and reconcile, and she never brings it up again. So, and he doesn't either, which is kind of interesting.
That is.
Yeah. He knows her tubes were tied, but it's like, okay, you think you're pregnant? Fine, I'll play along. And then she just doesn't.
For 4 years.
Yeah. And then they get divorced in 1998. So, but they had those 4 kids together. So 1998, her and Carl divorce. In 2000, before she marries her second husband, so her and Kevin is his name, her second husband, no, they were married in 2000. Sorry. Before Terry said, my brain goes faster. He's like, you can tell you know what you want to say, but yeah, let me start over.
Got it.
Okay. So divorced from Carl in 2000, before she and Kevin, her second husband, were married. So they're dating, but she told him, Kevin, I'm pregnant and I'm going to have an abortion. And he said, okay, here's $40, I guess.
How much?
I wondered that too. My guess is probably not. But he gave her $40. And guess what? Lisa never mentions the pregnancy again. So he doesn't know if she really did go get an abortion, didn't, but.
Okay, so we just don't know.
So that was 2000 while they were dating.
Okay.
So they get married. And in 2002, she's with Kevin, now married. She tells friends and family in 2002 that she's pregnant again. So this is the third claim. She said that she was receiving prenatal care from her physician, but she would not allow Kevin to attend the appointments. Now,
I mean,
husband,
every woman wants their baby
spouse.
daddy to be there for those appointments.
So shouldn't that be a huge red flag to Kevin?
What? Yeah. You don't want me there? That's strange.
Now, her physician later testifies that he did treat Lisa, but it was for ankle pain and a cold, not for any prenatal care, even though that's what Lisa claims.
I mean, and what are the chances of getting pregnant while your tubes are tied? 0?
I would say almost 0.
That's the hope.
Because, yeah.
When you do that.
I mean, I don't think it's 0.
I don't see you getting pregnant 4 times.
Absolutely
afterwards.
not. Absolutely not. I mean, and then, of course, now we've got this pattern of I'm pregnant and then it just mysteriously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she tells Kevin in 2002, I'm pregnant. And when the alleged due date passes, Lisa tells Kevin that the baby died and I donated it to science.
And I just didn't tell you that information?
Right. So I've been pregnant. You can't go to any of the appointments. I had this baby.
Smart as Kevin. I mean, let's talk about him real quick. He maybe could have stopped some stuff too.
Agreed. And
I mean,
Carl,
for real, I would be like, let's see the test. Let's see the pregnancy test. We're going to put that in the baby's book or box or whatever. I mean, let me feel your stomach. Let me look at your belly.
It does sound like she was smart enough during some of these, and maybe even the incident we're going to talk about in a second, but she was smart enough, like she went online and got like fake sonogram pictures and stuff.
I think she do that.
I think you can kind of find anything online.
You can order a fetus picture on Amazon.
Well, I think you could like type in baby sonogram and it would come up and she could probably crop off the name or put her name on it. I don't know.
On Amazon they sell those?
Again?
Probably.
Kind of like the internet, Amazon.
Probably.
So the third baby, she tells Kevin, sadly, the baby's died and she donated to science, which pretty sure there wasn't a baby. So now we've got the fourth pregnancy claim. And here we are 2 years later after she claimed she had another baby with Kevin. This is the spring of 2004. And here Lisa again is claiming she's pregnant with her husband Kevin's baby. And guess when it's due?
Right when
Bobbie Jo
is due. Slayed.
Yeah. So this is all lining up. So spring of 2004.
Does she know Bobbie Jo? Sorry, I keep asking questions, but I just need to know.
I know. Yes. She does know Bobbie Jo, and you're going to find out how a little ratter chatter.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, okay. Why do you think she's doing this to start with?
Why do I think Lisa's acting like she's pregnant?
Yes.
Definitely for attention. She wants to be pregnant. She likes it.
Okay.
She wants her man to stick around for at least another 9 months or so. I don't know. All that.
I think all that is probably true. But this last baby announcement, they're like, okay, we think all those things you said are true about the first 3 and the last one. But here's what's different about this fourth time in 2004. This last baby announcement with Kevin coincides with a custody battle Lisa's having. And this started roughly the same time, the spring of 2004. This is when Lisa announced her pregnancy. And this is about the same time this custody case is happening. This child custody battle is between her and her ex-husband, also her stepbrother, remember? So Carl, she'd had all those kids with him. And, Lisa knew, okay, let me back up here. So he believed she was faking the pregnancy.
Her husband, Carl.
Yes, because
I want to call him Earl for some reason, but Carl. Earl had to die.
I know, that's what I was thinking too. So this custody battle is between her and Carl, and we are assuming, and most people assume, that she faked this pregnancy, particularly this one, to win over the judge during the court hearing. Like, how can a judge not look at me, a pregnant woman, like a good mother and give me custody of my kids.
Right. This has to work.
Right. But I mean, and to me, that's definitely a motive for the last one. But obviously the other ones, I think, are what you said.
I agree.
Now, remember, Carl knows that Lisa can't get pregnant, or that's what he believes. And he believes she's making these baseless pregnancy claims again. So Carl and his new wife, who sounds like she's maybe with it a little more than Carl and Lisa, because he and his new wife, I think she kind of spearheaded this, send emails to Lisa. And they're like, Lisa, we are going to expose you. We're going to use this against you in the child custody proceedings. When you show up without a baby and you're claiming you're pregnant.
We know that you're lying.
Yes, we're going to use this against you.
Pressure's on.
So here's the big statement that Lisa responded with. Her statement was, I'm going to prove you wrong.
I think that's the moment she decided she was going to
do something.
I
think you're right.
Sinister.
I think that's the moment in her head. She's like, so
I am really desperate.
How far am I willing to go with this one? Like before, there wasn't so much on the line. With this one, she's got her other kids on the line. So December 10th, 2004, just few days before the murder and kidnapping, Carl files a motion for change of custody of the 2 minor children who at this time live with Lisa. So what are your thoughts on that then?
Well, she's double desperate. She's losing her kids and she doesn't have the one that's in her belly. So she has nothing. So freaking out, desperation mode.
Again, kind of like we say, desperate people can do desperate things.
Do really dumb things. Desperate people do dumb things.
Yes, there you go.
I've done dumb things. I'm desperate, not murdered anybody.
Well, no, right. Haven't we all? I mean, in moments of desperation. But yeah, I mean, I do think you're right. This is the moment Lisa said, okay, if I don't show up with the kid or prove that I'm pregnant,
I am
screwed. I'm losing. Yeah. And again, we're dealing with someone whose brain is not functioning like it should be. Okay.
And consider everything she's been through. I mean, that's not an excuse.
No.
But if you were raised in that sort of situation, you kind of would resort to violence or awful things I don't know. That's how she was raised.
And in her mind, if she feels like she was forced to have her tubes tied and she wanted more kids and look what's been done to me and I'm a good mom. Yeah, I think you're right. I think in her mind, she was just able to just defy it. And at this point, the way people had treated her whole life.
Right.
She's like, I mean.
Look at all the things people have done to me.
Right. And at this point, as far as I know, Lisa had not done anything to deserve any of that she got. So, until now.
Okay, guys, we're going to stop there. That's been a lot of information. So we will continue on next Monday with Bobbie Jo Stinnett.
And we appreciate you being here today so much. If you like what you're hearing, we are here every Monday with new episodes. If you want bonus content, you can follow us on Patreon. And of course, you can listen to us Amazon, Apple, Spotify, right, dogs?
That's
right, girls?
Right, puppies.
They're in here with us. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And for Missouri Mayhem, Mystery, and Murder, I'm Megan.
And I'm Mindy.
And don't forget, Missouri, stay kind, stay curious, stay safe. And Missouri, you bring the mystery.
We'll bring the mayhem. Peace out.